Okay, okay. Um, let's do this, shall we? Just give me a second. Let's pop up this beer. It's very cold. So one thing important to say: if you're not watching on YouTube or in Spotify, if you're just not watching but listening, if you like to drink beer now and then, not every day. Well, every day, why not? Why not? Tell me five good reasons. If you don't know five good reasons about something, then maybe you don't know the reasons at all. Okay, the point is, I met one day my friends to have some beer, and you always have to bring things to the party. So I went to the petrol station, and I was like, okay, I need to bring some beers fast. And there were like some beers in on sale, and there the brand was Height Extra Cold. This is a Korean beer, and it was super cheap. And actually, I tried, it, and it's pretty good. Now they are not on sale. They screw me up, I guess. They screw up everyone. But actually, it's pretty good. It's pretty smooth. That's why I say that if you're a beer drinker, you can have one every day, and why not? Actually, there is. I saw an article that it mentioned that drinking beer it hydrate better than water. Of course, no, if you drink 20 beers, but if you maybe take one or two. So yeah, just look it on Google and you will find something for sure. And the random guy is telling you random fact. Anyway, um, I started to think how much time I spend in other stuff. Like I had this friend. I get my PlayStation 5 just like some 6 months ago, less than that. It took me a while to get the PS5 one year later, but I got it. And then my friend Chicho asked me, hey, just get a Destiny 2. So Fernando gets Destiny 2. Now, every time that you play PlayStation, at least Destiny 2, you can't play for less than 2 hours. And I was going to play now, but I went to eat some tacos, and it's not Tuesday, it's Wednesday today, Wednesday night, Singapore time, and I went to eat some tacos. And when I came back, I was going to play video games. But well, I was thinking video games or recording a podcast that uh, it doesn't have a purpose. Anyway, so I decided for the podcast. Cheers. And then it reminds me that because of the video games, I download a game from Star Wars. But that's not the important thing because I haven't played the game at all. But because I downloaded the game because it was on sale, then I remember that Disney Plus was releasing Kenobi. You know Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the character from Star Wars, one of the main characters, I would say, was very popular. Yeah, was very popular during the first installments of the Star Wars movies that I think it was since 1977, 1979 and 1981. I think those was the three first movies that it was episode 4, 5, and 6. So Obi-Wan Kenobi was this old dude that was basically somehow taking care of Luke Skywalker. But all the story you don't know until the movie starts. Anyway, this is an attempt from Disney to keep milking Star Wars since 1977. Can you imagine? I was not even born. But Kenobi, in this case, is the actor is Ewan McGregor. I think he's a very good Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the story makes sense. It's pretty well done, I think, so far. 4 episodes I have seen. I like it. You should watch it too. Actually, we can start talking about the Kenobi series. Why not? Why not? It's pretty interesting how they have built everything around Kenobi. How bad he felt that he failed to Anakin Skywalker, and basically Anakin Skywalker is the guy that became Darth Vader, as we know. But the funny thing is, the first time that we saw Star Wars back in 1977, or me I think I saw it. I think I saw Star Wars Episode 4 in around maybe 1987 or around that, when it was a revamp of the series, because I was very young, of course. So I watched it and I thought it was a brand new movie, and it wasn't. But I got hooked just for because of the music, and it was just a different experience. Like going to the theaters as a kid is always so interesting. But I got hooked up with Star Wars, and because how what happened with my video, because how Star Wars works. Basically, okay, I'm back. Because how Star Wars works from the Episode 4, you don't know who this Obi-Wan Kenobi is at the beginning, and who is Darth Vader. We just know he's a bad dude that cannot. That seems like he's choking out. But with time, that is the father of the main character, that is Luke Skywalker. Then with time, they release Episode 1, 2, and 3, when we see young Anakin, how he becomes a Jedi, and then how he moved to the dark side, and all that mumbo jumbo. And then years later, it comes Episodes 7, 8, and 9, that they're very criticized because it's not up to expectations. I would say I'm not very happy about some stuff, but I think it's fine. I mean, it's just a movie. But then now it comes Kenobi, so it's like they keep milking the cow. And before that was the Mandalorian, and I saw Star Wars, Clone Wars, the cartoon. That's a very good series. You should watch. If you like Star Wars, you should watch Star Wars, Clone Wars, before you see a lot of the things from the Star Wars universe. It's very nice, very nicely done. It's every episode is just like 20 minutes. It's like 7 seasons, I think. Every season is like 20 something episodes, but they're very short, and it's very well done, very funny. They get very deep into the characters, but at the end, this camera. But at the end, is very sad how is the ending of. I mean, we know what's going to happen with Anakin Skywalker. So that's the sad part. Like, and the last episode is super, 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 super sad. Anyway, and then it comes Kenobi, that is the latest release of the Star Wars universe. And there's Obi-Wan Kenobi just when he sent these 2 kids that came from the princess Amidala, that is Leia and Luke, and then he gave it to different families. So he's somehow the guardian, the hidden guardian, and then all the things that happen around there. So you should watch it. I'm not going to say much, but you should watch it. And what was the next thing that was trendy? Oh yeah, about the iPhone. So because I was trying to get my antivirus renew in my computer, then I saw that the McAfee was offering me protection on my devices, including my phone. And I was thinking, why do I need like antivirus and stuff like that in my iPhone? But there's one interesting thing: I can get a VPN. And then reading about that, I ended in an article from Wire magazine that is about that. Maybe I don't know, like a month ago, there was a serious flaw in Microsoft, that it was very easily being hacked, and of course because of the Russia in Ukraine. Actually, it's the Ukraine war, because it's not in Russia, it's in Ukraine. That I think everyone forgot about it. Everybody removed the flags and everything, so now everybody's back to their TikToking and stuff. But there's still a war in in between Star Wars, between Russia and oh shit, I just forgot the country. And what was the name of the country? How could I forget? Well, anyway, so then I was reading about Microsoft, the vulnerabilities that they were encountered. And it's funny because in Wired, they have like a very funny way of writing the articles, and they say like, Not to freak out anyone, but there's a serious flaw in all supported versions of Microsoft Windows, including Windows 11, that allows attackers to take over your machine. The so-called Follina vulnerability can be exploited using weaponized Word documents, and security researchers say that they already spotted government-backed hackers using this attack in the wild. Finger crossed that Microsoft, which was downplayed the severity flaw, issue a patch soon. So the patch is already released, so everything is patched. And because everyone around May, everyone patched everything: Apple, Google, Android, Chrome, everyone patched everything, and Microsoft got a little bit screwed up. And then that brings me to the second point that I was very interested is like that if you are a Google user, then you might be entitled to some money. But the thing is, it's a time thing. It's a privacy, something that happened with privacy. And the article says that Google Photos privacy violation ends in 100 million settlement. And if you're one of these guys, listen carefully, guys. I took it from Wire Magazine. This is from 4th of June. So it's not super updated, but today's 15, it's just 10 days ago. And this is the article, and it says, like, if you live in Illinois, let me put it here. I cannot read, this screen is so big. It says, if you live in Illinois between May 1st, 2015 and April 25th, 2022, Google may owe you some cash. The company recently settled a class action lawsuit over a feature in the Google Photos app that categorized photos of people based on their faces. Ooh. The problem, according to the lawsuit, Google failed to receive consent to do so. Google failed to receive consent to do so from millions of users, a violation of the state's Biometric Information Privacy Act. Google did not admit fault as part of the settlement, but it has agreed to pay $100 million and put in place measures to avoid further privacy violations. If you were an Illinois resident during that 7-year period and appeared in photos uploaded to Google Photos app, you can file a claim for your piece of the 100 million pie. Well, there you go. If you have been in Illinois between May 2015 and April 2022, wow, the 7 years. Yeah. And then you can see people making a lot of comments, and sometimes it feels very, very, very toxic, like just like Twitter. And I have friends who love Twitter. I like Twitter too. But funny, one of my friends who love Twitter, that's the only social media that he has. Some people are very sneaky. If they don't have Facebook, it's because they're trying to hide something. That's what I think. Well, the good thing about Twitter is that if we are lucky, it's going to be privatized, and it's going to become better. And we're going to have the edit button in order to edit your tweet, because I don't know if you know, and if you don't know, now you know. The Twitter, if you do a tweet and you post it, you cannot edit your tweet. They have a rationale behind the Twitter. So I mean, it's so like you can man up if you put something and then you cannot back up, right? It kind of makes sense. But then, if you think about it, even if you think about the difference between Apple and other apps, Apple apps, iPhone is very reluctant to change and to implement very new stuff now, right? Before it used to be very trendy. Now it just take a while to do things more similar to Android. So what they're doing now that is very interesting is that you will be able, if you use Apple, of course, and if you use iMessage, you will be able to edit your message. So if you make a message and send it, and then you have like a misspelling, or what happened to me all the time, that have autocorrect in a different language, so it corrects like in a very nonsensical way. You can go and you can correct your message, but of course, I think there's a small legend on the bottom that the message has been edited. So that's something that Elon says he's proposing, that when he take over Twitter, he will make an edit button. Anyway, let me see. I was reading about Elon Musk. What could possibly go wrong if Elon Musk get Twitter? And it says Elon Musk, the world richest person, acquired Twitter in a 44 billion deal in April 25th, 2022. Did he close the deal already? Cool. 11 days after announcing his bid for the company, yeah, Twitter announced that the public company will become privately held after acquisition is complete. Who knows when? Because in a filing with the Security and Exchange Commission for his initial bid for the company, Musk stated, I invested in Twitter as I believe in a potential to the platform to free speech around the globe. And I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy. So basically, maybe Donald Trump will get his account back. The good thing about Twitter is you can find anything. It's true. You can even find porn. And I mean, it's not that I'm uh, a porn user because I mean I have other ways to figure out what to do. But I mean, free speech includes porn, right? And it's everything. Like people can say whatever they want. Of course, you should have consequences about the things that you say. But that's the interesting thing about Twitter. Like you can find anything. You can find even porn, but then they censor Donald Trump. Interesting, interesting. Anyway, let's just keep having my beer. Again, this is Height Ultra. No, Height Extra Cold. And no, this is not a sponsor, but it's a pretty good beer. Mm. Maybe every time that we have these random chats, maybe I should talk about a beer. So again, this beer is very easy to drink, very, very soft flavor, very light. Still have alcohol, um, but how much alcohol it has, I cannot say. 4.5. Okay, like any other average beer. And I guess it's a lager. So for the people who doesn't like IPAs or very hoppy beers, this is perfect. Oh, good. Have you ever seen people putting ice on a beer? I have some of my Filipino friends, and they put ice on a beer, and I just basically, which I just want to slap their faces because who you do that? And they do it even without thinking. They just get it. They ask for ice, and they just pour it. They're like, well, why are you putting ice on the beer? What is this? I mean, they do it already automatic because I mean that's what they used to. And talking about automatic things, like there are things that always people do, and I was thinking about those just recently. One thing everybody does it. If you don't do it, maybe you're different and maybe you are weird. You know, when you brush your teeth, you take your toothbrush and you put the paste, and before putting the toothbrush on your mouth, everybody put water. You always wet the toothbrush with the paste before washing your tooth. Why do you do that? Is it in the instructions from how to wash your teeth, how to brush your teeth? I don't know, but everyone does it. I do it. I do it all the time. For me, I do it because I have done it without wetting the brush, and it feels too dry. You know what I mean? It's like a very thick paste, so you don't feel that it's flowing around your mouth. So that's why I put some water, so it just the paste dissolves easily and it goes all over your mouth, your teeth, your tongue, your gums, everything, and then done. Then something that I didn't know until late in my life is like what is the name of the dentist? Dentists claim, or a couple of them they have said to me that after you wash your teeth, you just spit I mean whatever you have in your mouth, and you shouldn't wash your mouth with water because basically you're throwing some of these chemicals that helps to fight the bacteria and things on your mouth. And some people they just wash it a lot of times, right? So they say we're doing something wrong there. Anyway, we need to look out. Maybe I should look in internet how this toothbrush, how brush the best way of brushing your teeth. So that's one. So and another thing that everybody does, and I think we have talked about this. You're walking there, on your own. You're in your own business. You, let's say you go to your office, or you just go in a mall, because in the mall you don't know people, and you enter a lift, and the first thing you put the where you go, and the first thing, even let's say if there's few people, if it's too much people, sometimes there's no space. But if there's few people, the first thing that almost everyone does is take the phone out, and they're looking like they're checking the time. But why are you checking the time in your phone if you have a watch? Because I've seen a lot of people have a watch, and sometimes they open the phone, that they take up, they see, and I can see sometimes that they don't have any notifications, so they just there, they open, they just scroll over the screen, they move the apps up and down, they block it, and they put it back in their pocket, and then sometimes they, like, I don't know, more floors up, they take it again, and there's nothing, and I can see how they're just moving the apps up and down, like why everybody do that? I mean, I know why, but it's funny. Like it's not just easy to just enter and then stare at the floor or stare at each other or maybe say good morning, and that's it. The awkward moment of the lift. That's a pretty interesting awkward moment. Like the awkward moment that is happening in US now, because not too long ago, what was that, like 2 3 weeks ago, there was another shooting in a school, and it was ridiculous. Like the some of the government people from the USA said, like, or not the US government, some of the politicians, yeah, the government, they were saying, like, because, okay, first of all, this dude that no one knows how crazy he was, because I haven't read too much about it. He had a assault rifle. First of all, why you need an assault rifle? They say, yeah, you need an assault rifle. So he got an assault rifle, and he was 18 years old, and he entered and he started shooting, and he killed, like, I don't know how many kids, and he killed some teachers as well. And then the police took a while to enter, and then he shot dead this dude. So then Fox News and CNN and any other news company, they went and they start attacking the politicians, because the laws in US, they allowed everyone to buy any type of gun. So they were saying, like, why you are guys not changing the law and allow to use guns? And then everybody talking, and then many of these politicians, what they did in order for them to, I think they were defending themselves, and it was so stupid. I cannot believe why these guys were so stupid. You know what they were doing? They were defending themselves, saying that they need more security in schools, and this happened because there were too many doors, so they couldn't control all the doors in which one of these crazy people can enter. So they were saying that now they need to start having less doors in the schools, like just having one door open, because they claim that this crazy dude with um, a assault rifle, he entered through one of the back doors that no one knew of existence, or if it was open or not. So then the stupid politicians, because they don't have other word, like they start to say, like, they start to talk about the guns rights and the gun violence in USA and all these things happening around that, and them instead of, I don't know, saying that, yeah, they have been screwed up, like maybe they need to do something about it, the guns, and how to attack the problem from the root of the gun violence in USA in their schools. They just start to say that is because there were too many doors in schools. There are too many doors, and they were saying, you can look on the internet, and all these fuckers, they were saying that there were too many doors, that schools have to have less doors, or all doors should be closed all the time, and they were just talking about doors, and I was like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? You crazy? I don't even understand what you're saying. Like, what is the problem about the doors? No, the problem is about the guns, not the doors. And maybe if you don't think that it's just about the guns, maybe it's about, I don't know, mental health. That is a thing. Yeah, mental health is a thing. I know people that have suffered mental health. I have friends who have families who suffer mental health. Me myself, I think I have never suffered like a real mental health issue, so lucky me. But it's a normal stuff. It's pretty normal. But this, not even mother lovers, I can call them, these fucking stupid politicians. They were saying that the problem is too many doors. Really? Seriously? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sorry, it's a break. I'm having a sip of beer. So let's come back to Twitter, shall we? Twitter and the famous Elon Musk. It's funny how everyone, Elon Musk is like a, how can I say, it's like a myth. There's like a cult behind Elon Musk and Tesla and SpaceX and everything that he do. And sure, yeah, why not? He's a pretty smart dude. Yeah, you cannot deny that. Um, he's a visionary in a lot of things. He know what he's doing. But the interesting part is like, I mean, he knows a lot about the concepts of engineering, and in this case, for SpaceX, about uh, I mean, because he's the head of engineering for SpaceX, so he know all the concepts about rockets and fuels and propellants and all these things. But what people don't see or they oversee is the people who works for him in SpaceX. They're like really real geniuses back up. And there, of course, the boss is a mini, like a super genius too. But they are the guys who made things happen. They send some rockets, they do all this crazy stuff, and they came back and they land by themselves. The computer is managing all the avionics of the rockets, and the rocket goes up and the rocket goes down, land on one of these floating barges, or yeah, the floating platform, or they land on Earth, on yeah, on one of the space stations, like not space station, uh, space fields. How do they call it? Well, they have like they have a how do you call space? And the one in Texas actually has a name. They put a name in his. Well, anyway, so that's pretty cool what they do. But okay, so the other thing that I was saying is everyone see Elon Musk as the savior of humanity and mankind. But there's few things that we have to understand. He might be very smart and everything, and of course, I can't even imagine uh, talking to him. He should be like someone like, wow, very interesting would be. I mean, I saw Joe Rogan Experience, and he looks like someone interesting to talk about. But not just because Elon Musk say it doesn't mean that it's true or it's right. Like we all have our moments, and I mean, you cannot be perfect. You cannot please everyone, first of all. But sometimes, some things you are not correct. Like I think one of the things that he has maybe, um, how can I say it, that he has not hit the nail is with his boring company. The company is calling boring, but not because it's boring like your girlfriend, but boring like like it's boring a hole with a making tunnels, because they have all this idea that you're going to make a hole and you're going to have this hyperloop. The hyperloop was like a tunnel uh, underground tunnel that is going to be vacuum. So basically, it's not going to be vacuum filled, but it's going to be vacuum. And then you're going to have a pod inside, and then the car will be, and then this pod will be accelerated with very few resistance, almost no friction, because it's vacuum. And then it's going to go to the other side of the two, right? But seems like there is a lot of problems, technical problems on it. So basically, I think that the Boring Company moved from being trying to be the Hyperloop just to start making a tunnel, underground tunnel. So what is going to happen is like then all the people who is on top on the highway, then you're going to go on the tunnel. But I think there's going to be also eventually is going to be a traffic jam in the tunnel. I mean, we have seen it everywhere. I mean, sometimes the problem is not just that we need more road. It's like maybe we need less cars. And US is not famous for using public transport. Can you believe that in US there's not like a decent train service across states? There's none. I mean, there is some trains who go here and there, but there is no like a good one. Say let's say like in Japan that it goes from one side to the other one, and you can take a train, and it works. But in the US they don't have it. Everyone has a car. I mean, I know it's big, and let's not start talking about New York underground because that's completely disgusting. Same like the Paris one. Uh, but not to say that maybe the Paris one is I think it's a little bit better than the New York one. And but I mean, nothing can compare to Singapore underground. Of course, different countries, smaller. But anyway, being Singapore so small, having such a big how to say a big connections of trains is like the infrastructure of underground train is amazing. So yeah, that's one of my thoughts with one of Elon Musk companies. I think he hasn't hit the nail with his boring company. Well, I still have to see something regarding his company from the Neuralink. I haven't seen anything. Basically, they want to put some electrodes in your head so they can uh, put internet connection in your brain. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool because then I could play video games, and then I can see, I can in my head, I would just say, okay, I want to know the result of the F1 because I don't have F1 TV, so I want to watch F1. But the only one for me to watch F1 is I have to go to a pirate website, and then after getting all these all these viruses and stuff, and this pop up like with porn and Viagra and all these things, then I have to just click no 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 no, and then after that I can watch illegal F1. But if I had some electrodes in my head that is connected to the internet, yeah, it's not that I'm going to see it, but I might be able to see. Oh, okay, yeah, like one of the feet from who knows what. I can see. Okay, Hamilton is still on eighth place, right? What is the deal with Mercedes Benz and this freaking car this year? This is the thing. I mean, of course, I'm not. There's something that I'm not be. Maybe I'm ignoring, but I think this is my thoughts. If last year Mercedes Benz had a very good car, and they were. I mean, they didn't win because the championship was stolen by Red Bull, and it was not Red Bull's fault. It was the guys from the stewards from F1 that screwed up. But that championship was for Lewis Hamilton, so he's supposed to be 8 times champion. But if last year and the previous year the car was so good, why this year is so shit? I mean, why if something is working, why you change it? I mean, I understand why you can change it. You want to improve it, but basically they did step back. Unless all the other cars they made a step forward because it's not just Red Bull, it's also Ferrari, and now and then is Aston Martin here and there. Daniel Ricciardo he screwed up with this trash team. I think his team is this cars is I think it's a terrible team because you can see it. You can see it. Daniel Ricciardo, he was even getting to podiums when he was with Red Bull. So who is the one to blame? The driver or the team? In this case, I would say it's the team and the car, of course. But that's just me. I mean, I'm not an F1 expert. I'm an expert in other stuff. Like I was talking to my friends on TikTok. But okay, I was just wanted to spend like some 20 minutes with you guys in this nice time to chat about random stuff. But now we have like over 30 minutes. So I just want to say I need to improve my sound. Anyway, this is how things are done sometimes. So thank you guys for your time. And I guess I will see you guys very soon. Cheers.